of the things you talked about there was your personal life and some people that you've talked to. We're always so complimentary of this coaching staff, and obviously you as a trio, both yourself, Coach Andrew Whiteside, Coach Tom Cowell, have come together and sort of been able to find this this united energy to get these players playing at the level you want. But there's also other people that maybe don't get a lot of credit. I want to mention Stefan Fusco, who is the dad of you and the coach of the University of Scranton club hockey team. And by the way, he's made it to back-to-back championships at the ACHA level. And so you talk about, well, you're going to say the same things year after year after year, but it's just, be calm. And you said it may look on the outside like a 65-hour work week for you was stressful, but you were having fun. I have to imagine, I see your dad here a lot. I know him in my days at Millersville College when our team would play against his group with Scranton. But, what kind of impact has your dad had on you? And have you talked to him throughout this season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been there every step of the way, playing in youth hockey, junior hockey, college. The rodeo I went on trying to play pro hockey. And, that's the best way to put it is he's been there day one. He's been riding that bull with me. He hasn't been sitting in the stands watching it. He's been on that bull with me from the start. And, it's kind of cool to be able to look across the ice when you're on the bench and see him up in the stands. And he still does his quirks. I remember when I was playing, I was a center, and he'd be in the stands, and he'd yell at me or bang on the glass, and he'd have all these signs and symbols, like, do this, do that. And he still does, and he sits there at the top, and he loves it, he loves the boys, and the boys love him, and, he's always at the top of the stands, and when they're coming off the ice, he's fist pumping them, patting them on the back, and, it's kind of cool. I do give some of the success that we had because he's another set of eyes for me sometimes. He'll pick up on things and he'll call me after, when we had that rough stretch, he'll give me a day or two and then he'll call me and be like, I noticed this or I noticed that. And it's like, yeah, Dad, yeah. And then I sit and I watch video and I'm like, okay.
Dad's right. What no kid wants to admit. The parents are right.
Yeah. And then, it goes the other way around. He picks up on things and he learns things. And, as his coaches, it doesn't matter how old you are or what level you're at. Something I learned this year is you got to keep learning. I think my guys this year kept me on my toes, but they kept me on my toes in a good way. And that's why I think making the Final Four there was a complete effort by everybody. It took all of us. It took my dad, being there supporting us. It took a couple other parents really, stepped up to the plate and helped out at the end. I gotta give a huge thanks to the Edwards family. They had a couple team dinners for the boys. Offered their house up. They had a Halloween party there at the beginning of the year, and it was kind of like a team building event. Cody Rumsey's parents bringing, chocolate milk and some fruit and stuff like that after playoff games. Passeretti's bringing coolers of water and Gatorade for us, on the roads and playoffs and stuff. I think it kind of turned into, it was pretty neat to see how everything turned into what it did. And, you sit there as a coach and it's like, this is incredible. It really was incredible. But, getting back to my dad, I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Well, your dad,
bottom line.
Your dad is family, and it sounds like just you talking about some of the parents that were involved and the players. And I know something you said in our article online is you wanted to create a family. Do you feel at the end of it that this definitely became a family here?
Well, 200%.
Yeah.
It was, and then again, that was the process, right? You look at some of these guys, he might have been a stud on his 18U team, or this guy might have been fourth liner last year, or this guy might have played in the Premier and was, a stud, or whatever it may be. It was kind of, it was a gut check to some of them. It was finding the right roles, the right niche, for them, what style of hockey player they're going to be, what do they need to be to be successful, the daily routine of being a hockey player. It all tied in together, and that's why, they became a family on their own, essentially. because they started helping each other. They started grinding with each other. On the bench, they started working together. I think early in the season, and especially in some of those long stretches we went on, losing games, you could see guys on the bench, like they started getting after one another. And
Yeah.
I kind of sat back a little bit sometimes and let it happen because I knew that it was a learning experience for a lot of these kids. I had 95% of them,
Right.
And then it just, like I said, it clicked. It kind of clicked, and guys realized what we had in front of us. Guys realized, they're here for a reason. Guys realized I got to turn up another level. Guys realized, hey, I got colleges looking at me. I got colleges talking to me, and they want to see me amping up another level. And there was like, hey, what do I got to do to help you? Rhett, you got a school coming tomorrow? What do I got to do to help Rhett? And that's what it turned into. And again, a lot of these kids too, they lived together. We had a bunch of billet houses that had 4 or 5 of these kids together, and they would get together and, it was pretty cool.
I was going to say, I know Johnny Jackson, Matt Passaretti, a couple, I think Thomas Walker may have lived with them.
Emerson Emery.
Yeah, so there's some of these groups. We're going on for a while here, and I figured we would, end of the season. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of these kids had college commitments.
Yep.
You had an opportunity to see a lot of your players also get some NAHL time with the Knights here, which was very neat.
I think all across the board, you look at a lot of people look at, oh my God, you made the finals. You made the Frozen Four. It took me a couple of days to kind of sit down and collect my thoughts and kind of reminisce, and obviously I had to take some notes, and we had the exit interviews. I think after the exit interviews, I was able to kind of really reflect myself, on the season, and that's something that you look at the college commitments. We had 99s that committed to schools.
Yeah.
Rhett Padgett just committed to Kings. Josh Edwards committed to Kings. Matt Moves in 99.
Yeah.
Going to Chatham.
Zach, Uladel Hodgman, Emerson Emery, Thomas Walker, all going to Albertus.
Yeah, and that's cool too, and that's something, that's where you saw the brotherhood. You saw some of these kids like, I got Walks and I got E there. Zach's like, I want to be with them, I want to be my brothers. Edwards and Rhett going to Kings together, it was the same thing. Eddie's going there. Oh, dude, I heard Rhett, Rhett's coming, and it's like, that's and again, those two guys have been together for a while, but you saw a lot of that grouping, at games, on the bus, in restaurants. Guys were really close, really close group of kids. So Dennis Arkapenko, he's getting that opportunity. He's finishing the year. Hunter Bersani got called up. Eddie got called up.
Saw Matt Passaretti a little bit earlier in the year.
Got, I think 4 or 5 games there.
Who also committed to SUNY Canton.
Yep, SUNY Canton commit, which I still hear from my buddy Vinny up there. He's still pretty happy and pumped for it. But Belinsky's getting a little bit of time. Cody Rumsey's finishing. The past 2 weeks he's been skating with the NA team, and getting his opportunity to shine and show what he's got to hopefully make that lineup next year. So those are the hidden successes. At the end of the day, like, I sat there and I'm like, wow, like, that's something to be pretty happy about. You didn't have the leading scorer, you didn't have this. Thomas Walker was a finalist for goalie of the year. Starsy and Walker made the conference teams. Starsy was the first team, Walker was the second team. You
ended up, as a Coach of the Year finalist.
So there was a lot of hidden successes that I don't think a lot of the public or families, might have realized.